Arrogant Hawks boss General Senona just accidentally exposed himself as the inside man behind the 200 million rand cocaine theft at the Madlanga Commission, when he revealed he knows way too much about how it happened, then refused to take a polygraph test to clear his name. So watch a corrupt general implicate himself without even realizing it. So let me show you exactly how Senona gave himself away, because commissioners start asking about security at his office before the cocaine disappeared, and watch how every answer makes him look more guilty. Like if you think this fool should face charges, click the like button now.
When did the theft take place?
Which one?
The theft of these drugs that we are under discussion.
November 2021.
November 2021.
Yeah.
So you be very clear that it was, if you had known, then you wouldn't have done this. Can you please go to page 536?
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner.
So do you recognize this document?
Yes, Commissioners, I do recognize this document.
Can you go to the second page of the document, the last page?
537.
537, yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And what is the date of the document?
2020-01-22.
January 22, January
2020.
2020.
Correct, Commissioners.
Okay, so almost 2 years, well, a year and 8 to 9 months before the theft took place, right?
Okay, Commissioners.
And who prepared this document?
Commissioners, I see at the bottom there's initial R.S.R. Singh.
Is that the section commander for counterintelligence, KZN?
According to what is written here, correct, Commissioners.
And it was sent to you?
When?
On the same date.
Commissioners, this document, I want us to go to 536 so that I can respond. Page 536. If you look at address B, it says the Provincial Head Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations, KwaZulu-Natal. Then you go on page 537, the date there, it says 2020-01-2022. It is not possible that this document was sent to me on this date. On this date, I was working at Division Detective Service, the Division Detective and Forensic Services at head office. I was not within the DPCI on this date. I was not a member of the DPCI. So this document, I've never received it.
So it was sent to the provincial head of the DPCI?
At KZN.
At KZN.
Correct, Commissioner.
And you became the provincial head?
Correct, Commissioners.
And this was never brought to your attention? You didn't know about these thefts?
I didn't know about this document as well as the other theft, except that there are only 2 housebreakings that happened while I was there.
So I'm going to take you back because let's just actually, before we leave this document, go to paragraph 4 of the document. Because this is what it says about the office itself, the building, right? Which you then came to be in charge of, right?
Yes.
So paragraph 4 says a general inspection conducted by this office of the premises revealed the following in terms of MISS security measures. 1, no CCTV cameras are installed in and around the premises. 2, there's no early warning alarm systems in place within the office space, more especially in offices located on the ground floor. 3, no beam sensors located exterior to the office accommodation. And then if you go to the comments, it's the recommendations of how to address those shortcomings. Correct?
Correct.
Were those shortcomings ever fixed?
Commissioners, I was not privy to this document. I agree that address B is the provincial head before my time. And I've already indicated a few minutes ago that.
Ask yourself, why would a new Hawks boss not check security reports when taking over a facility that stores hundreds of millions in seized cocaine? Because when you become the provincial head, wouldn't the first thing you do be find out what vulnerabilities exist at your offices? And Senona claims he never saw the report warning about no cameras, no alarms, no sensors. But either he's lying or he's so negligent he shouldn't be in charge of anything. Now watch what happens when commissioners ask if those security problems were ever fixed, and pay attention to Senona's answer about when he finally applied for guards. Next video, please.
Okay. So let's go.
Sorry, Advocate. It's going to be difficult for me to talk about this document. Hence, it was never brought under my attention. I saw it when I was presented. It was presented by the Commission.
We don't need to talk about the document. You've confirmed that this was the findings in 2020. I asked you whether those had been addressed, because this is now about the office, the building. So what I was asking you is whether there are now CCTV cameras, early warning system, beam sensors, etc.
All I know, the alarm system was there when the theft took place. But this is the recommendations, but all I know, the alarm system was in place. And further to that, I did apply for security personnel to be appointed in order to be deployed there to guard the building. Now recently, they advertised the post now recently. Even the process of shortlisting and appointing, it has not yet started.
Now, I think, January this month. So Senona only applied for security guards in January 2026, which is over 4 years after 200 million rands in cocaine was stolen. And that tells you everything, because an innocent Hawks boss would have demanded immediate security upgrades, but Senona waited 4 years, which means either he wanted the facility to stay vulnerable or he's admitting to criminal negligence. But it gets worse, because now commissioners show that Senona's office was broken into 3 times while he was in charge, and watch how he tries to downplay this, but accidentally proves he knew it was vulnerable.
Correct.
Okay. And if you look at, so this report that we were just looking at is attached to a report by General Mosikidi, which is at page 428. 528, apologies.
528.
528.
I see that.
And if you see paragraph 1 says the purpose of this information note is to appraise the national head on the feedback regarding the housebreaking and theft of 541 kg cocaine from serious organized crime unit officers at number 2 Princess Elizabeth Drive in Port Shepstone. That's the Port Shepstone Hawks office, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And General Mosikidi says about the thefts, if I can just find the right paragraph. Yes, about the security aspect. It's page 533.
533.
Yes. before I go here, can you please remind me, General, when did you take over the position of provincial head in KZN?
I was appointed on the 1st of August 2020. Then I reported on the 1st of, on September. 1st or 2nd of September. I don't know if it is a Monday, the 1st, then I started on the 1st. If it
Page
is
7 of your CV.
CV.
Your CV. It says 1 August 2020. That's when you assumed the position.
Is the appointment, which means that is the date of appointment, Commissioner. And then what happens is, if I may just clarify that one, when you are appointed, you don't, it is difficult for you to go immediately. What happens where you are, you must have the process of handing over and clearing up the office. You go and do the visit. You must look for accommodation before you go there, because when you go there, you must already have accommodation, because I was from Gauteng here at head office, in Pretoria, head office, commissioners. So physically, I took up the post, I think it was the 1st or 2nd of September.
Of 2020?
Of 2020.
Okay. All right, so now if we look at page 533, under paragraph 4, General Masikiri deals with what she calls the security aspect. And she notes that the Port Shepstone office was broken into 8 times since 2011. But if you look at the last 3 instances, they were 15 January 2021, 11 October 2021, and then, of course, the 8th November 2021. So those 3 were while you were the provincial head, correct?
No, incorrect. Commissioners, I'm saying it is incorrect. It is correct with the last 2, not the last 3.
Sorry, I thought you said 20 September 2020.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. I think I missed this year. Yeah, January. Yeah. Yes, commissioners. Yeah, correct.
Correct. It's the last 3, correct? Yeah. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. These last 3 took place when you were the provincial head.
Yes.
And in fact, the second last one, 11 October, was the month before the theft of this 541 kgs of cocaine. It was just the month before.
Just a month before,
yes.
Commissioners. Can I say this? The last one is the actual theft of the cocaine.
Think about what this means, because January 2021, break-in number 1, October 2021, break-in number 2, just 1 month before the cocaine theft, and November 2021, the big theft where 541 kilograms worth 200 million rands vanishes, and Senona did nothing after the first 2 break-ins to prevent the third one, which means he either wanted it to happen or he's admitting he's too incompetent to protect evidence. And if you think a Hawks boss who lets his office get robbed 3 times should be in prison, hit that like button. Now watch the most damning part, because commissioners ask about the investigation, and Senona admits he hasn't followed up in 4.5 years. Roll the video.
Is there anything that precludes you from asking your supervisor what's happening with my drugs that were here? Those investigations. I know I would do that if I were in charge of people and my supervisor took over a matter from me, then I have an interest in the outcome because I want to get to the bottom of it. I would ask my supervisor, even in a letter, 1 line, what's happening with this matter. As Commissioner Kumalo says, it's 4.5 years later. The head of the DPCI, under whose watch this was taken, says, I don't know what's happening.
Commissioners, I understand what you are saying. I wanted to know the progress. I wanted to form part of the investigation. But once they decide they make a directive that these people will be the investigators, they will report to this one and monitor, and the deputy will monitor the progress on a weekly basis. That on its own, for me, it was an instruction that you don't interfere here, staying in your lane. That is how I took it when I read that letter, because it was sent to me as well. The call-up is the establishment of this task team to deal with this. That's what recorded in me. Maybe that's why I'm saying I don't know what is the current status of the case. But there was no reports of some sorts that suggested that there are arrests or there is a recovery.
You don't follow up for 4.5 years on the biggest theft in your career because you were told to stay in your lane, but an innocent person would be demanding answers every single week because your reputation is destroyed unless you already know what happened, because you facilitated it, and you don't want investigators finding evidence connecting you to the theft. But wait, because now commissioners confront Senona about information leaking and watch how he admits someone inside sold them out, but refuses to include himself as a suspect.
I only have
one last point before you move off it. From Colonel Prinslow's statement that you gave us, and this is still about, the measures that would have been in place to secure this. It seems that it was known, it was out there somewhere that Port Shepstone is keeping this valuable haul of drugs. And I say that because in that paragraph 10 of Colonel Prinsloo, he speaks about a Brigadier Naika who had come to his office to inspect certain SANEP dockets, privately said to talk to him about the cocaine that was stored in the safe. So it seems like not enough measures were taken to make sure this is secure. Not just anybody knows. Here's Naika from outside of all of this who knows about it.
Brigadier Naika, Commissioner, is a section head of SANEP, South African National Narcotics Enforcement Bureau. He oversees this type of drugs and some of the seizures. Now, you can see clearly here that when we store these drugs there, we never made a media statement about the storage or whatever and show. The only thing that happened, it was the bust at Isipingo. Now, you can see that within ourselves, somebody decided to inform Brigadier about the storage. So it is some of the things.
There was no reason for the Brigadier to know this.
Absolutely. So some of the things, commissioners, are difficult to manage, and some of the things like I will give an example of you can't police rape because it happens within and elsewhere. So it is it supports also my statement when I say somebody within the PCI KZN or even outside who knows the outlet of that office sold us.
And it could have been any one of you who knew about this.
It could have been,
yes.
But definitely it's not me.
Yeah, no, you say that, General.
If it was me, the investigation would have come and arrested.
Somebody within DPCI sold us out. And it could have been anyone. But definitely it's not me. And there's your accidental confession because Senona just admitted that whoever stole the cocaine had to know where it was stored, who had access, and who understood the security weaknesses, and he fits that description perfectly as the provincial head, but then says, if it was me, they'd have arrested me, which isn't how inside jobs work, because smart criminals don't leave obvious evidence. Now watch the final nail in the coffin when commissioners ask Senona to take a polygraph test, and his refusal proves everything.
Come again?
Will you offer yourself to be submitted for the polygraph?
If
You
my
said
sup-
you asked your subordinates to do it, but you didn't.
If my supervisor asked me to do that, I will gladly do it because he's got the powers to subject us to that. It's me who made the application. But the issue of saying I must volunteer, I didn't because the Act says he must commission it for me. Me, I commission it for my members.
Yes, you can go to him and say, commission it. You can do that.
It never happened. I thought if there was at that stage he regarded me as a person of interest, he should have done that. So I can't answer on his behalf, commissioners.
No, but General, that's not a satisfactory answer, though. You say that this theft, according to the way you saw it, this theft is an inside job, effectively, that someone who knew we have this and knows that place very well has something to do with this. And when I say that could also, that includes you, I don't say it flippantly. You are one of the people that knew exactly what's in there, and you know that place, as well as your juniors that you said should go to a polygraphy test. And to say you could have offered, you are a person of interest, even if your supervisor doesn't say. You become a person of interest because you are also in the same position as your subordinates that you said should go for this. And so the surprise, for lack of a better word, that you did not offer, you didn't say to your supervisor, I also want to take a polygraphy test, because you know in your heart and head, you say that you are not implicated. But you know appearances also matter. Who knew about this? It's an inside job. You don't say to your supervisor, I want to, and have your supervisor say to you, no, I don't think it's necessary. I'm not going to request you to do it. I think it is fair if it's a question, it's a matter of wonder but why did you not offer him? And have him requisition it or reject you and say, no, I don't think it's necessary. Because you're really situated exactly the same way as the juniors that you requested a polygraph for. You're nothing other than your position as head of unit excludes you on these facts as a potential, and please hear me, I'm saying potentially. Nothing excludes you by virtue of your office from being one of the people that may have, been behind this. And I would have thought that concern would have made you say to your superior, I want you to subject me to a polygraph test.
Commissioner, I think the chairperson asked me the very same question, and I responded the very same way I am responding.
It never crossed my mind to take a polygraph, and that's the smoking gun, because Senona forced his juniors to take lie detector tests, but won't volunteer himself, even though he had the same access, the same knowledge, and the same opportunity, and an innocent person who lost 200 million rands would be screaming, test me, investigate me, prove I'm innocent. But Senona hides behind excuses because he knows he'd fail. And if you're outraged that this corrupt Hawks boss can refuse a polygraph and keep his job, smash that like button and subscribe. So let me recap what just happened, because General Senona accidentally implicated himself as the inside man. First, he admitted he never checked security reports when he took over, even though massive cocaine would be stored there. Then he admitted his office was broken into 3 times, and he did nothing. Then he admitted he only applied for guards 4 years after the theft. Then he admitted he never followed up on the investigation, claiming he was told to stay in his lane. Then he admitted someone inside leaked information, but excluded himself without proof. And finally, he refused to take a polygraph. even though he forced his subordinates to take one. So, if you think General Senona should be arrested for facilitating the 200 million rand cocaine theft, smash that like button and subscribe, because we're exposing every corrupt official until they're all behind bars.